A tray clips onto a rolled-down car window. Ice knocks inside a Route 44 cup. A waitress in skates leans away before the car door swings open. You know Sonic drive-in. The stranger question is why this old carhop trick survives at all. Act 1 setup. Before Sonic becomes a national chain, America is already building a restaurant system around the automobile. In the 1920s and 1930s, roadside stands and curb service spread as car ownership rises. Eating now happens beside the steering wheel, under neon, with the engine ticking. By the 1950s, the drive-in is a social machine. Teenagers cruise after football games. Families pull in on summer nights. Radios carry Patti Page, then Elvis. The smell is hot grease and sweet onion. A parking lot can feel like a dining room, dance floor, and town square. Carhops solve a practical problem first. Kitchens can serve drivers without indoor seating, extra dish rooms, or much real estate. The tray hooks to the window. The customer stays put. During the post-war boom, that efficiency matters because traffic, suburbs, and impatience are all rising together. Then the skates enter. Restaurants use them before Sonic, especially in the 1940s and 1950s. Because a good skater can cover a crowded lot fast, service becomes performance. Every order arrives with a small risk of disaster. Hold on to that detail. Speed is part labor system, part show business. Act 2. Rise. In 1953, Troy Smith Sr., who has run a root beer stand called Top Hat in Shawnee, Oklahoma, notices something simple. Customers use the speaker system more than he expected. In 1954, he renames the place Sonic. The slogan promises service at the speed of sound. The setup is clean and cheap. No dining room to build. Just a kitchen, parking stalls, menu boards, and intercoms. Drivers press a button and order from the car. A carhop carries out burgers, onion rings, and drinks packed with Sonic's Pebble Ice, the crunchy kind people still chase. Sonic starts franchising in 1959. That matters. While many local drive-ins stay local, Sonic becomes a repeatable roadside template across small towns and suburbs in the South and Midwest. The stalls, canopies, red trim, and speaker posts feel familiar from one state line to the next. By the 1960s, chain fast food is sorting itself into two species. Donald's pushes indoor kitchen efficiency and walk-up counters. Sonic keeps the car at the center. That choice makes it slower to scale in some ways, but it also gives customers a ritual no fluorescent counter can copy. The peak arrives over decades instead of one explosive summer. Sonic grows steadily through the 1970s and 1980s, while many classic drive-ins vanish. Interstate highways reroute local traffic. Land values climb. Labor gets tighter. Yet Sonic hangs on by turning an old service style into a recognizable brand promise. Now watch the decade give itself away. In 1988, Sonic has hundreds of locations, mostly in the South. By the mid-1990s, the company is going public, and by 1998, it trades on NASDAQ. A format once tied to local hamburger stands now speaks fluent franchise finance. The menu helps: cherry limeades, foot-long quarter-pound conies, tater tots, and giant drinks give Sonic a product mix distinct from burger rivals. Those drinks matter especially. The chain's crushed ice and flavored add-ins create loyal habits. Customers pull in for beverages as much as for lunch. Skating never completely disappears during this climb. But here's the important correction. Not every Sonic has skating carhops at every hour, and many locations phase it in and out. Weather, insurance, staffing, and safety shape that choice. The skates remain powerful even when partly symbolic. Act 3. Fall or twist. The twist is that Sonic survives by preserving a performance most chains abandon. Early drive-ins around America often fade because the model is vulnerable. Curb service is labor-intensive. Bad weather hurts business. Team cruising gains a rowdy reputation in some towns. Indoor chains look easier to manage. By the late 1970s and 1980s, many independent drive-ins are gone. Some become parking lots, pharmacies, or bank branches. Sonic avoids that graveyard by standardizing the nostalgia while still selling convenience. Customers are not entering a museum piece. They are getting dinner without unbuckling a seatbelt. There is another hidden side. The carhop, especially on skates, once reads as carefree Americana. The work itself is demanding. Servers carry loaded trays through summer heat, across wet concrete, around idling cars. In earlier decades, women carhops also deal with flirtation and harassment as part of the shift. That tension sits inside the whole image. The smile, the red lipstick, the bright apron, the polished wheels. Under it is hard service labor timed to the minute. A skater weaving between bumpers is not a postcard. She is managing balance, spills, tips, and the next order buzzing through the speaker. Sonic keeps updating while guarding the old silhouette. Credit card readers arrive at the stall. Digital menu boards replace simpler signs. Limited time products cycle in constantly. In 2018, Inspire Brands agrees to buy Sonic for about $2.3 billion. A root beer stand from Oklahoma ends up inside a modern restaurant portfolio. And the skates? They keep showing up because they still work as memory and moving signage. A skating car hop can stop traffic better than a billboard. During special events and at certain stores, the wheels return with extra ceremony. The old trick still converts attention into sales. If you visit now, the sound is half archive, half present tense. The intercom crackles. Ice rattles in plastic. A tray lands against glass with a firm metal click. Somewhere, a teenager takes a first summer job in skates. Somewhere else, a manager keeps them on a shelf for weekends only. You can trace the afterlife in objects. Vintage Sonic trays turn up on eBay. Postcards from 1960s drive-ins show servers balancing burgers by car fenders. Former carhops swap stories online about bruised knees, nickels in tips, and the exact trick for stopping hard without dropping a limeade. A lot of vanished American places survive only as logos. Sonic keeps a physical gesture alive. Pull in, press the button, wait in your own little booth of steel and upholstery. Food arrives at the window. That single motion carries a whole century of roadside business models inside it. The archivist's note is small tonight. Sometimes a culture tells on itself through architecture. Not speeches. Sonic lasts because the United States keeps building for cars, then misses the ceremony those cars erased. So one chain preserves a narrow slice of that ceremony and sells it back by the drink. All right, file the skates beside the speaker box and the window tray. They are evidence that convenience once needed theater, and sometimes still does. Lock that memory in the vault, and I'll see you in the next case. What year did you first see this?